taking a moment to invite in the energy of the tarot, thanking these cards for being in our circle tonight, bringing us the messages that we need to hear in an alternative way. We trust in the cards, for we know that they do not lie. And we believe in the reading that comes through tonight. So I typically pull a card for past, present, and future. That's what I did tonight with this new moon. Our past card, it's the Three of Swords. The number 3, we are in the season of March, right? The month of March, the 3rd month of the year. And we have the swords, detachment, letting go, severance. We're letting go of winter. We just let go of winter 2 days ago and welcomed in spring. We're now moving forward into a different energy. And with that requires a letting go. Anytime we pull the Three of Swords, it's time to let go of things that just aren't working out anymore. Relationships, efforts, pursuits in our businesses, or pursuits towards dreams that just seem to never happen. The Three of Swords says, hey, it's time to let go of that. Those root things that you've been focusing on for some time now, right? The red square, root chakra, or rooting down. But notice all this pink energy, the heart around the card, heart energy, and saying, hey, listen to your heart. You know if you should continue to exchange energy with that person or put your energy towards that effort or that thing. But if it's time to let go, it's time to let go quickly and swiftly. And trust that the letting go is opening up new space for new things. I love when the cards align with the message of what's going on with our moon. For the present card, I have a reversed card. I pulled the reversed 7 of Wands. 7 is the number of evolution, ascension, 7 days of the week, 7 deadly sins, 7 chakras. It's about wholeness or completion. When we have the wands, it's usually about our magic. However, it's pointing down. We're holding back our next evolution because we're holding back our magic. Notice how, again, we have heart energy, the green of the card, but then we have this yellow solar plexus energy around it, fire. We have to have the courage and the bravery to show our gifts. We have to have the empowerment to trust in what we're blessed with and born with and actually use it to better ourselves, to better our life, and then to better the world. Because we know it's all connected, right? The spiritual life isn't a selfish journey. It's not an ego-driven journey. We can certainly use our gifts to create a wonderful world full of abundance and prosperity for ourselves, but we can also then use those gifts to help others achieve the same thing. Okay? So for example, I have a gift of mediumship. Okay? And I've had that gift my whole life, but I held it back for a very long time because I didn't know what I was dealing with or what I was working with or even to believe it. Am I crazy? But when I became a Reiki practitioner, the mediumship just came through naturally. And I knew that my next evolution in my own healing of grief from losing my father and other lost loved ones was through strengthening that mediumship and being able to communicate with my ancestors and anybody else that wants to talk to me. My gosh, like one of the very first persons, influencers that came into my life to inspire me to change was Dr. Wayne Dyer. If anybody knows about Dr. Wayne Dyer, put a little heart in the comments. I read the Change Your Thoughts, Change Your Life book about the wisdom of the Tao, and it provided so much healing for me. And I think about how once I started to strengthen my mediumship, how sometimes he would come through to me as a teacher, now, and that's one of the great things about the gift that I have, that there are many, many teachers and influential people in the world that I never got to meet before they passed away. But because I believe in my gift, I believe I can connect to those people in the spirit realm, in my mind and in my heart and in the space that I go to connect. And it has happened because those people are impartial. Once they die, they don't have obligations. They're omnipresent. They can be anywhere, anytime if anybody needs them and their energy. And so I've called on that energy to serve me. Now, with that, I've also used my mediumship after having served me to help others. And I know some of you are on this transmission and you've had people come through in sessions with me. That is a gift that I could have held back. And I could have not trusted, or I could have only kept for myself. But the more I use it with the external and others, the more joy I find. Because the more I help other people heal, especially loss and grief. So we have to find these gifts. We have to stop holding them back and suppressing them. We have to let our magic flow. And once we feel comfortable with it, we have to bring it out into the world. We have to expose it to the world because it's going to be evolutionary for society, not just for ourselves. Lots of hearts. Yeah. And I know that some of you here on this transmission, I know that you have talents and you have gifts that you are bringing into the world just now, that maybe you used for your own benefit. Now you're bringing them into the world, and that can be scary, right? Like putting ourselves out there in different ways than we've put ourselves out there before can be very scary and very intimidating. But the great thing about this Aries new moon, and remember this is the present card, the Aries new moon says go for it. Gives you a lot of courage and confidence and fire to kind of not give a damn and go for it no matter what. So embrace your gifts, bring them out, start cultivating them with this lunar cycle. Finally, for our future card, I have another reverse card. I have the Emperor. Notice the Aries ram on there in reverse. Because it's interesting, this isn't your typical Aries, like move forward and go forth and conquer energy. It's just the beginning of it. We're going to come back around to it a month from now with the next new moon. So we're going to have another chance to revisit the Aries energy and use it and rework it, or continue to use it in the way that we are. So Aries energy is a little different this time around. I think that's why we're pulling this card in this way. The Emperor is usually very confident in their gifts. They're ruling their life with ease. They're in their spiritual practices. When it's reversed, not so much. Somebody's kind of taking away their power. Who is taking away your power? Who is debilitating you? Who is keeping you in a lower frequency energy like anger or jealousy or shame or embarrassment or frustration? What or who is holding you back from your spiritual practices? The day-to-day things that keep you harmonious and peaceful and pure. Now is the time to make adjustments. Because the Emperor says, hey, this is probably something you're going to work on in the next 4 weeks. As you shift into spring, as you shift into a new energy, you're developing new habits, new ways of living, new ways of doing things. And with that, you might have to let go of some old ways of doing things, or old people, or old relationships. It's a good thing. So with this future lunar cycle, the next 4 weeks, make sure that you're working on all of the things that empower you and don't disempower you. Anything that's taking away your potential, that's muffling that or holding you back, you've got to let it go now. Think about, it's springtime. We're going to be planting gardens, right? Not always, but if, just think about the concept of planting a garden. You just don't drop the seeds right in. You tend to the soil. You break apart the weeds and the grass. You turn the soil. You get rid of the stuff that doesn't need to be there. And then out of that, you can plant seeds in open soil and grow a beautiful garden. but you have to detach and break away the old stuff first.